got into venture capital in a little bit of a roundabout way, which I guess a lot of people do. But as my background, I have kind of a funny background in real estate and technology and in venture. So I started, my college job actually was in real estate. So I started selling real estate and leasing real estate when I was in college. And but when I graduated, I was very interested in technology and went into a couple different startups for about 7 years on the operating capacity. And then out of business school, worked at a small buyout firm between my first and second year, and came across a technology company that happened to be in the real estate space that was too small for them, and I decided to run with personally. So I spent my second year of business school lining up investors and looking to try to buy that company. And long story short, it fell through right before I graduated, and I ended up joining a venture fund that was on the other side of the table trying to buy the same company. So I spent 2.5 years with them. We were doing early stage consumer and information media. And then in 2008, launched actually a corporate venture fund. So I had a single LP, and I did that, fully vested that fund in 2015, and then launched my own fund, Moderne Ventures.
That's good.
When I spun out my own firm in 2015, I think that the interesting things that you don't really think about when you're thinking about starting the fund is all the stupid little things, right? Like, so naming the fund and finding out that every financial institution in the world has already been named, apparently, and because so coming up, which is why Modern has an E on the end of Modern Ventures, and so but and getting the trademark on that thing, and finding a fund admin and finding all the workers' comp, like who knew how to do that, and so there's a lot of little silly things that you have to do along with starting any business, but I guess we kind of appreciate that because of all the venture companies we fund have done the same thing. But I think that it's a very interesting process, and I think very humbling to go and look at doing the same thing all our venture funds are doing, and asking for investors to believe in you and take a chance on the fund. And so I think that it's a lot of it's a lot of work, but very fulfilling. We were talking to some people last night, someone who's at a very established fund and someone who went to join a more from a very established fund to join a new fund, and then me, who started our own fund. And I think that most of us in the venture community, a lot of us in the venture community, have a work ethic that has brought us to where we've been. And for me personally, I always worked just as hard. It was nice to now work for myself. I think it's important to find the unique strategies that can help to find those optimized returns and build a story that's different than what everybody else is doing. So we chose a vertical outlook on things, one that's broad but focuses on applying these broad strategies in a vertical way, and we've built this network of 700 or so executives that we feel can help build those returns or help add the value to the portfolio. And that's been the approach that we've taken, and this is a different story than almost anybody else has. And I think that in order to be different than every other fund that's knocking on an LP's door, I think it's important that everybody has that story and can show some track record, whether it's whether it's just their own deals or starting a seed fund to do it, but building that track record and showing that story has validity and that story has a purpose for someone to want to make that investment. And it's really important. And so spending a lot of time and making sure that you're surrounded by people that can help support you, that believe in that vision, that give you the courage and the confidence to keep moving with it, because there's going to be a lot of no's no matter what, is really important. And if you believe in that strategy, you'll find the right people that will